Hi there, it's Mrs. Hoppy, and in this video, I want to show you how to get started with Google Slides. So your teacher might be sharing this video with you so that you can watch it, and we're going to talk about how to add text and how to add images. Now, as we're working in Google Slides, I want you to remember you're always creating a slide for an audience. So you want to be remembering who are you making this slide for? And are they going to be able to understand things easily? Sometimes we get carried away with a bunch of fonts and a bunch of pictures, and then our audience can't really understand our message. So we want to keep that in mind. So let me come over to a slide deck. And this is just a blank slide deck. I want to show you a few things. If you click up in the top, you can change the name. So I'm going to call this Practicing Google Slides. And you see, you have all your slides down the side. Now I'm on the first slide and it's the only slide there is. And I'm going to add some text. Now I automatically have this box for a title. And I am going to create a slide about practice. And then I can click in the bottom box, which is the subtitle size, and you'll see that the size is different. Now, did you see how the font is changing sizes? The font is what we call the type, and it's changing sizes, getting smaller. That's because of this box right over here. If I don't want it to auto fit, I can turn that off. And do you see how each box has these little squares that are kind of like handles? So if I want to make this longer, I drag that handle. If I want to make it skinnier, I can drag that handle so that it fits. Okay, now I've got that box, I've got this box, and let's say I want to change what font this is. I want you to take a look at the menu up here. This section right here is going to talk about things with your font. So I can change to, let's change it to that font, and I can play with all different ones. I can make it a little bit bigger and a little bit smaller by clicking those buttons, or I can change the number here. Okay, so I can make that, I want that to be a little bigger. Let's go there. I can make it bold. I can make it italics, which is slanted. I can underline it. I can change the color. So let's make it blue. Or something I do sometimes is I make the highlight a color, and then I make the font white. So you see how you can do all these different things. Did you see it goes away when there's no text box highlighted? But when there's a text box, this comes up. Okay, now also if I want to center, I've got my centering button over here. Maybe I want it over there. So I have these buttons so I can control it. And then if I want to move it, I can just click on it when I have that 4 arrow thing and drag it where I want it to go. Okay, now let's say I need to add a text box and I don't have one here. There are two things I can do. First of all, I can click on this little button that has the T and drag the text box, or I can go to Insert Text Box and drag a text box. So you see the options I have there. I don't want this one, so I'm just going to click the delete button on my keyboard so that I don't have extra text boxes hanging out. Okay, so that's fonts and how you can change the size of it, the color of it. You've got this whole bar here. Let's say, is there anything else we need to know how to do in text boxes? I know something that might be useful. Let's say we're making a list, hang on, of things. Let me put that back. Make it a little bigger, and we're going to call this things I can practice. I can practice reading. I can practice sports. I can practice, what else can I practice? I'm going to leave it there. Do you see how I click and drag and that highlights those? This button right here, I can make that a list, or I can make it a numbered list. Okay, so you have some control there. So those are a couple options in fonts. What I want you to do, open a slide deck and just practice. practice all different things with text, with fonts that you can do. Generally, you'll notice this is size 14. When you read a book, like a chapter book, most of the time that font is 12. So 12 is a reading size. You don't want to go too much smaller than that, but that's pretty small if you need other people to be able to read. So you might go bigger. All right. So those are some font and some typing, adding text ideas. The other thing I want you to know about, though, is adding an image. Now, if I want to add a picture, let's say I want to now add a picture of books and a picture of sports, I can do that right in Google Slides. So I can go insert image. And if I already have one on the computer, like it's a picture I took of something, I can upload it. If I have a picture in my Drive, I can go to Drive. In this case, I don't have a picture of books, so I'm going to search the web. Did you see what I did? Insert image, search the web, and I'm just going to click right over here for books. And I like this one. So I can either click on it and then I can click on another one. So I've got two now. Oh, there we go. I've got two now. And I can click insert. And it's going to bring them both in. This is handy because then I'm going to click on one. There are those handles again so I can make it smaller. I can decide which one I want. I think I want that one, but I don't want it on top of the word. I'm going to go to Arrange, Order, Send to Back. And that puts it on the back, almost like if you think of this as things stacked up on top of each other. Okay. Now on this book, I notice if I double click, I just clicked on it, I can crop it. So if I just want the top part, I can drag that. And then when I click enter, I just have that part. So you crop either by clicking, or did you see this button right here will let me crop it too. Okay. I don't want that though. So I'm going to delete. I'm going to leave that picture there. Now, if I drag this, I can make that really big. I can even make it fill up the whole slide. But now I can't see these words. What could I do with that? I'm going to come back to my text. I clicked to highlight it all, or you can click and drag to highlight it all. If you're on a Chromebook, sometimes I click with one finger and then drag with my other finger like this. But I can either, let's see what happens if I make that white. That's not bad. What if I drag it? I have a hard time reading that. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to highlight behind it and I'm going to make it gray. Now I can see it better. Okay. So those are some things you can do to add text using this button here and to add an image. I hope that helps you. I always want you to remember when you're using Google Slides, your purpose is to convey an idea to an audience. So make sure that you make it as visually appealing, but still understandable to your audience, because you want them to be interested, but you want them to be able to understand. It's sometimes a tricky thing to balance, but adding text and adding pictures are going to help you make great slides. Have fun.